Biotechnology and its applications of class 12 biology. Now that we know what biotechnology is actually, so we can study about its applications too. And why is it so important to study about it? Now, where all has it laid its magic? Let's see. Therapeutics, diagnostics, genetically modified crops, for agriculture, processed food, bioremediation, waste treatment and energy production, and there are many more actually, the list is endless. Now, applications in agriculture will be the first point that we'll start with. Actually, India being basically an agricultural country, an agrarian country, so basically what we have to understand is we have to increase the amount of production of food. Okay, so we have to help our farmer friends in some way or the other to increase their agricultural production. In maybe if we can introduce it using say scientific methods, then what is better than that? So there was something called Green Revolution that was done. Okay, it started in Punjab, and that what it did, it tripled the food supply. Tripled! Can you imagine? With the overpopulation and increasing demand for food, there is always see, whatever is gonna end, the demand is gonna end. But for food, the demand in India is never going to end. Okay, so that we have to actually still work upon. It couldn't solve the problem of hunger all around the world, but still we have to work around a lot. Agrochemical like fertilizer, pesticides have been used to increase the yield. Okay, but they turn out to be very expensive, and sometimes they are very harmful also. So they should not be used. So pesticides, there is always a limit to use the pesticides. We can't use as much as we want. Plant, bacteria, fungi, animals, they all have genes which have been altered by manipulation. Okay, and after altering, the organism that was formed were called the genetically modified organisms, or the GMOs. So there was a lot of contradiction, a lot of controversy over GMO lately, but they have been used in both good and bad ways. So for plants, what was the advantage? They became more resistant to abiotic stress. Abiotic stress means the say sunlight, say temperature, say any kind of water, or all these things. Okay, became more pest resistant. Now automatically, if the plant is pest resistant, you don't need to use pesticide at all. What is better than that? Mineral usage by plants became more efficient. That means the inner working of the plant became more effective. That means the plant became more active, and nutritional value was enriched. Okay, what matters is the nutrition. Nutrition value was further enriched. Has made plants more tailor-made for alternate supply resources to industries. Now, pest-resistant plants reduce the amount of pesticides used, because amount of pesticides used, if it is reduced, then automatically it is a good thing. Bt toxin is produced by a bacteria that is called Bacillus thuringiensis. That is the Bt gene in the bacteria. This particular gene is the cry gene. Okay, that is there in the bacteria which was used. That is cloned and expressed in plants. This helps the plant to be resistant against pests without using insecticides. Examples: Bt cotton, Bt corn, Bt potato, Bt tomato, Bt brinjal, Bt soyabean, etc. Now we will study Bt cotton in details. What happened in Bt cotton? So there is this bacteria called Bacillus thuringiensis which produces proteins. Okay, and these proteins which are produced that kills certain insects like Lepidopterans, the insects which actually very easily attack the whatever plant it is, tobacco say, cotton say, whatever plant, or Coleopterans, the beetles, dipterans. All these groups of animals or insects used to actually kill, or they attack the plant, and the plant used to get destroyed automatically. So this bacteria forms certain protein crystals, and from these crystals, during a particular phase of their growth, from these crystals, that there is a toxic insecticidal protein, and this protein does not affect the bacteria. Okay, because Bt toxin protein, it's actually an inactive protoxin. That means it is not really of any function in the bacteria. But once an insect ingests this inactive toxin, this is the magic. Once it ingests, it becomes active. Okay, and due to the alkaline pH of the gut. So in the gut, we know that the pH is alkaline in nature, and this gut pH is enough to solubilize the crystals. So the activated toxin binds to the surface of the midgut epithelial cells, and that creates the pores that causes cell swelling and ultimately lysis and eventually death of the insect. So insect further dies. Okay, so toxin is the activated toxin that is going to do all this. So the choice of genes depends on the crop and the targeted pest, as most of the toxins are insect group specific. So mostly they are insect specific, of course. The toxin is coded by CRY. Now there are a number of cry genes like cry I1AC or cry 2AB and cotton bollworms, etc. So that they control the cotton bollworms. Now pest resistant plants, there is a nematode called Meloidogene incognitia, which infects the roots of tobacco. Again, very specific, tobacco plant only, and reduces the production of tobacco. So to prevent this, what we did, we went for RNA interference technology. RNA interference means RNA was silenced. Okay. This method involves silencing of specific mRNA, and because of complementary DNA, double-stranded RNA. So from the mRNA, double-stranded RNA was produced that binds, and ultimately the translation of the mRNA was prevented by silencing it. And the source of this could be from any infection by viruses having RNA genomes or mobile genetic elements. Using agrobacterium vectors, nematode-specific genes are introduced into the host plant, and the introduction is such that it produces both sense and antisense RNA. That means the 3' to 5' and 5' to 3' sense antisense both are produced. Okay, and so this RNA was silenced, and the consequence was that parasite couldn't anymore survive. Okay, parasite only would die, and ultimately the plant would be saved. And now coming to the biotechnological applications in medicine. In medicine, how is it important? Why is it important? Genetically engineered insulin. As I told in the previous video also, insulin is actually something which has saved millions of people who have been suffering from diabetes mellitus. So it contains, if you look at the morphology, it contains two chains, okay, chain A and chain B, that is linked by disulfide bridges. In mammals, it is synthesized as a prohormone which contains the C peptide, but this is absent in mature insulin and is removed during maturation into the insulin. So earlier this was actually taken from pancreas of the slaughtered cattle and pigs, okay, but some patients started developing allergy against it. Then what happened, this rDNA technology came, and then this American company Eli Lilly started in 1983. It prepared two DNA sequences corresponding to A and B chains of the human insulin and introduced them in the plasmids of E. coli. E. coli was used, into which the human insulin was introduced, and then A and B chains were separated finally. In gene therapy, actually, gene therapy is very important in, especially nowadays it is important, it is very famous in foreign countries. In India also it will become very famous in coming years. So gene therapy is something which is a collection of methods that allows correction of the gene defects. There are certain defects in the gene which have to be corrected, okay. And, for example, it is diagnosed in a child or an embryo. So these are the things that are really genetically, but yes, they are very costly, of course. Now, for example, ADAS-KIT, you must have heard about adenosine deaminase deficiency and severe combined immunodeficiency disease, that is ADAS-KIT, that can be corrected using this, okay. Now, lymphocytes, yeah, all these things were linked with ADAS-KIT only, and along with that, cystic fibrosis, hemophilia, cancer, Parkinson's, all this can be targeted using gene therapy. So now you can understand or measure the importance of biotechnology. Now coming to the molecular diagnostics, very important, PCR. PCR is polymerase chain reaction, which is used as a tool to amplify. Nucleic acid of the pathogen is amplified by PCR, so it can be detected. Like, for example, detecting HIV in AIDS patients and gene mutations. Or recombinant DNA technology, as I already told you, something which is already existing in the nature, you're using that and making something new of your own. Okay, using DNA and RNA. Recombinant means new, something as a result of combination. So the probe is allowed to hybridize, very important point, hybridize to a complementary DNA, and the cell with mutated gene will not be observed in the photographic film because the probe was not complementary. This is for a specific method only. Then ELISA, very important, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. So that is based on the principle of immunology, actually, antigen antibody reaction, and that is also checked using this biotechnology against whether the binding has happened or not, that you check using the biotech only. Stem cell technology. Nowadays, so much of advertisement about stem cell. What is stem cell actually? Bone marrow transplantation. While doing that, scientists understood how much important it is to preserve the stem cells. So they are undifferentiated cells which can differentiate into specialized cells, and further they can produce more stem cells. So they have that capability, and it is biotech which made us understand that. Transgenic animals. Transgenic animals means say any kind of proper animal which is further modified to produce something which is of a better quality, okay. Say for example, transgenic rat, rabbit, pigs, sheep, cows, fish, okay. For example, study of normal physiology and development, you can use this, whether how do the normal body functions do, and abnormalities, the anomalies, etc. Okay, and complex growth factors like insulin-like growth factors and all. Study of diseases like Alzheimer's, very important, Alzheimer's, rheumatoid arthritis, and phenylketonuria, because the treatment of these are done using this biotech only, gene therapy. Biological products, yes, again very important point. Biological products is human protein For first of all, alpha-1 antitrypsin used to treat emphysema. Emphysema is a disease which was not being able to be treated earlier. Now in 1997, actually the first transgenic cow was Rosie, which produced human protein enriched milk, which was very, very important and nutritious for human beings. And why is it nutritious? Because it contained human alpha lactalbumin and was nutritionally a more balanced product for human babies than natural cow milk. And vaccine safety, over 95% of the transgenic animals are mice. So why mice? Because of course testing and everything goes first through them. So the various types are there. Example, polio vaccine. And chemical safety testing to study the effect of toxic chemicals, because they're more sensitive than non-transgenic animals. Now coming to ethical issues part, biopiracy and patent. Now ethical issues, there are many ethical issues, okay, along with this, because as long as you're talking about living organisms, and under that if you're talking about plants, it's okay, but if you're talking about animals, then of course there are many ethical committees which have a role to play. So before doing any kind of experiment, you have to take permission from them. Manipulation of the genes should be regulated to avoid the misuse of technology. This, of course, they should not be used in the negative way. Science advancing only is good when used in the positive way, and going beyond the morality is definitely not acceptable. And GEAC is actually an organization by the Indian government, that is the Genetic Engineering Approval Committee, and that makes all the important decisions regarding whether your GMO or the GM crop that you have prepared is safe or is regarded to be validated or not. I mean, it is how much good it is to be introduced into the commercialization. Basmati rice is an important food grain, the presence of which goes back to the history. Diversity is one of the, India is one of the richest in the world, okay, it's because of the unique aroma and flavor and all that. Now an American company got patent on this thing, this US patent and trademark, and this was, they said that this allowed it to sell the new variety in US and abroad. But this new variety was actually very, interestingly taken from Indian farmers' variety only. Indian basmati was actually crossed with dwarf varieties, and finally they claimed that is their own invention. Okay, so several attempts have been made to patent uses, products, and processes. Piracy, biopiracy is the use of bioresources by multinational companies without proper authorization. Suppose they haven't taken consent from the person who has made it, without compensatory payment. So after taking the patent, that person is taking patent means if his technology has to be used by somebody else, then somebody else has to pay for it. Okay, and without paying only, these people were using. So there has been growing realization of the injustice, inadequate and compensation and benefit for all this, and that is why the Indian Parliament has created recently the many rules like about this. Okay, some nations are developing laws to prevent such unauthorized exploitation about their bioresources, and the Indian Parliament also has recently cleared the second amendment of the Indian Patents Bill, and that takes issues into consideration. There are actually many rules about the GMO and whether you can commercialize it and sell it in the field, in the market or not. Let me also take a moment to introduce you to Missionet. It is an online tutoring and mentoring service which connects you to Tier 1 college students of IITs, NITs, AIMS, etc., from which you can ask any kind of doubts which you may have with regards to your competitive or board examinations. Their fees start from a menial rupees 1000 per subject per month, where you get the said services along with AI-based feedback as well. You can reach out to them at contact@missionet.in for any queries. That marks the end of our session. Hope that was good. Make sure that you like the video and subscribe to our channel for further updates. Thank you.